All right, fans. So, I was gonna do live, but the power went out. So, I guess it was a sign that I'm not doing a live. I'm not doing a live. I don't really. There we go. The light sometimes drives me nuts, but that's the only light I got right now. So, anyways, this is Mad Dog Mountain Arts video, and we were at the market today, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was also like, like Indigenous Day celebration today at the Fall Fairgrounds. For like many years living here, we've had Fall Fair every I need my coffee, don't I? Every weekend? No, sorry, I can't talk. I can't talk right now. If I was like worried about scripting this, I'd be going back and being like, no. Maybe I need to put you on the other side. That's what I needed to do. It was the light. Sometimes the light just bothers me. Bothers me bad. So, so I should have gone over there and we should have walked around and checked out other vendors and stuff, but I got sinus cold, just like in this nostril. It's kind of driving me nuts. So I didn't go over there and check out, which I'm kind of regretting now. But when you make, pretty much this video is like, when you make resin like I make resin, it turns into a huge project, which like goes on until the next day when I need to clean up the resin, and then I don't even get to the listings. I'm the worst. So if you guys are like wondering about my shop, well, I have like a fourth wall shop, and I keep saying I'm going to do something about it, but I keep perpetually not doing anything about it because I'm not very good at sitting still. So I have this problem with like sitting still, and yeah, I probably affects a lot of my life, my problem with sitting still, because people can't keep up to me, or I don't get a lot of things done. But at the same time, if you're out there and you've kind of got the same thing where you just like can't sit still, the one thing I have noticed is like the ability to get many jobs done. Not like tediously, like some people get jobs done, but adequately, right? So like, for example, I made a ton of art, so, but it's not all like finished. So we're gonna sit here now and I'm gonna show you guys some of the things like I took the time last night. I have tiny little pieces of crystal quartz that I put in here. We sold necklaces today. I think I sold, it's got a cool piece of glitter on it. It's not going to be great. It's not going to be great for the, what's the word? I can't close up when I'm doing like my front camera unless I'm on my TikTok. But so anyways, when I do these, then, right, I've said this probably 1,000 times, it's easier to cut off the excess when it's still fresh. But this resin was fresh this morning, not at like, it's like 5 o'clock now today or something. So anyways, this wasn't my raffle weekend, my raffle Sunday, and I did do a live the other day and warn you guys that I wasn't going to do a live. So here we go. Although it's weird to kind of be sitting here and not doing a live. I like doing lives, and I get a lot of subscribers doing lives. So anyways, if you're trying to have a YouTube channel, I would recommend doing the lives. It's a good chance to get to talk to people and direct people to your channel. Pretty cool, right? This is all my little pieces of rock then end up coming home. You might as well put them in your resin. It saves money. I can't like stress that enough, especially like today when I was at the market. It's like oh, this peg sunk. You should always be watching your hooks because then they sink. Like there's some really nice crystals in here, but no. Can you see that? See that eye hook sunk? As I wasn't watching last night. And this piece was kind of interesting because it had water inside the mold. I'd like washed the mold, but I didn't fully dry it, so it had like these little bubbles inside it. And I was like blowing them around with the heat gun, and I was kind of like, what's up with this? But that's what it was. It was water. And when I poured the, yeah, see, this one probably didn't stick very good either. And when I poured the resin inside, it like created its own little extra bubbles, which I thought was kind of interesting. And so then like, look, this one you can't even see. There's like a quartz crystal in here, but you can't even see it. Weird, right? But still got magical properties, I guess, but kind of a waste of a quartz crystal, right? So if you're watching my channel now, we do like, I do a lot of rock things, like where we're out discovering rocks or discovering caves and all that fun stuff. But I do think also that like while I'm not a resin expert, through trial and error, if you watch my resin videos, there's a lot of useful hits and tips about how to do resin. Like last night I was doing the resin and I mixed up like this red. So these are Norwegian runes that I'm making. And this red got like so hot in my hands in the container that I had to throw out. I wasted probably like this much. I'd already set up, like I always set up extra molds just in case I end up with like too much. Let's see the strings there. The red started to get stringy when it got hot. In case I've got too much, and then I'm like, oh, because the resin's expensive, and like if I can make this tiny little piece and sell it for like $8 or something, like I hate to waste it, right? But there comes a point where it was like I had other resin that was still like liquidy, and the red was just like, it was curing fast. It was like I couldn't even pour it. I couldn't even pour it into these anymore. I was trying to dap it in there, and I was like, oh my god, it's done. And that's going to be a necklace. It is done. So at that point, it's kind of like you got to learn to cut your losses and just be like, hey, all right, I'm throwing this one out and moving on to the next. Because if I'd wasted all this time messing around with the red that was going hot and hardening, I would have wasted like 4 other colors because they would have started doing the same thing, and then I would have really been upset. So I just threw the one out. I sacrificed the one, and yeah, it kept going. So yeah, it's kind of neat that I don't know. I'm kind of okay that the power's out. I can still water. It's really smoky outside. I should have stopped too and filmed for you guys some of the smoke. I was really thinking about it on the way home, but holy man, I just had like a sinus infection, headache. So I bought some of this like, it's like Neocitrin, but it's like Dayquil Neocitrin. So I bought some of that, and I think it bought me like another hour headache free or something. So blah, blah, blah. And you mix it with water, mix it with hot water. Highly recommend. It had good taste, and I kind of feel a little bit better, although I'm still pretty like wiped out. Bones. I sold some bones today, so now I can replace them with some bones. Sometimes when like the hook sinks, I can still stab. Like this one, the hook is sunk in here, but I have little like corn husker things, and I'll still be able to stab a hole in there. Yeah. Yeah, can you see enough to get out, or do you need me to help? This is cool, eh? all your toys are in there still. So we happen to be lucky that we're not on a well, so I can still run water when the power goes out. So, and me and him have a huge Lego project that I gotta help him with. So, okay, just pick as many out as you can, okay? Of your toys. And I'll be in there in just a sec and I'll get the rest of your toys out. These are very cool flower molds, these little guys. But again, like, so the peg sunk there. So in cases where I think that I'd have to like chew up the design too much, put a magnet on it. I'll put a magnet on it and it can just be like, whenever something doesn't work out, I either like repurpose it or I'm excited to see what these turned out like. This is going to be a phone stand. Isn't that pretty? Ooh. Here at Mad Dog Mountain Arts, we're full of like really good ideas. This was like extra confetti that we got the other day, and I used it. Well, it wasn't even confetti. It was like this gold stuff. It was like it was tied to the bottom of the balloons, and at this celebration of life that we went to, and it said like happy celebrate or something on it. So we brought it home and we cut it into tiny little pieces for the resin, right? And you see, so the red will glow in the dark, the purple will glow in the dark. I only resined one rock. This was a green rock, one of those ones that are metallic around here, that it's got the like square. It's like blue, gray, green, and sometimes they ding off the metal detector. So, but yeah, this will go in here. Sometimes it helps. I would fit this in before it hardens so that you carefully, obviously, because these actually can wreck. They can wreck. But you want it to be able to fit. So this is how it sits. But see right now see it bend because it's not ready. It's not ready. It's still really soft. The resin will be soft until it hardens. So as long as you know that it fits in there, you can try and widen it a bit. And it'll end up looking like, see this one, this is one of the first ones that I ever made, but it's bent. You what? You're waiting for me? I'm making a crab? These guys I make, and I kind of like to turn them into, they're a full globe, but I kind of like, look at the daisy in there, isn't that sweet? So pretty. I also, this edge is sharp, so if I'm gonna make another half globe, like if I made another half globe and then I just glued them together, I wouldn't worry about this edge so much. I would wait until I made the other globe so I could see how it was gonna fit together, because sometimes they end up looking like the Death Star and there's like a piece in between, right? But if you know that you're just gonna put a magnet on it, like I like them better as magnets than I like them as globes. I've not sold one as a globe, but not saying that I've sold one as a magnet, but I like them better as magnets. So, and there's a smaller size. But I did 2 daisies, aren't they pretty? And there's a piece of crystal quartz in there too. I will close up this stuff so that you guys can get a better idea of what's going on here. I just wanted to talk, you know, it was kind of like, things are getting better for me because I've managed to get some peace in my life, but when you're not like just peace, when you do manage to achieve some peace in your life, it allows for like the grief of other emotions, right? And I like have been laying in bed at night and this like past year I've been definitely like having some like strange feelings about like, you know, I gotta get on like living my life. I gotta get this, I gotta get that, I gotta get this, I gotta like get a new, right, like I gotta have a new person in my life, or I gotta get a dog, or I gotta, I don't know, like succeed at this or that. And I'm starting to feel what's the word for it? Just in my power. Just like settled. Just like, I don't know. Before I used to feel like we were like in the valley of want. It's like you could easily like lay there and be like, I want this, I want that. And like I still like want. I got a big list of things that I want for sure. But it's like the days go by, right? The day and then the next day. And I don't know. I don't know. Just slow steps or like, I don't know. Maybe I'm not feeling well. And maybe that's why like the rush is like faded out. But anyways, I'm definitely not feeling like in an urge to begin again, I guess. So that's okay. It's like a weird closing out sensation, which is probably okay. Which is probably okay. And then I started thinking about all the things that I like to do. Well, I ran into a friend of mine that reminded me about some things about being younger. And then I felt like I was younger again. What? You ready? Already? Okay, so this is a Mad Dog Mountain Arts video. I might end up doing a video too. No, because there's no power. I might have to end up doing a video too. But those were kind of like the main. I knew he was going to be upset about the power. The power could be off for a while because we have a lot of big trees hanging around on the road. And this is cool, right? I tried to do some different designs that I don't usually do. Like this will make a round pendant out of, or here's like a tiny little star. But if you don't, you got to put resin around the little holes carefully, and sometimes I use the heat gun to do that. So okay, well, I'm gonna go get him out, and thanks for watching me unveil some resin, and we might do part 2 here after I get him out. And I could sit over there and actually do one where you don't see my face, and you could sit in the, yeah, maybe I'll do that. All right, bye.